Hi, Audrey here from the pub at Lake Monticello. You may recognize me from our trivia nights. I host trivia and serve tables here a couple nights a week. So I hope that you have heard we have take and bake specials each weekend. The chef comes up with a great menu of items together that kind of are along one theme. And this week coming up, we have our Mediterranean take and bake. And it's a family size meal. We serve them in packs that are meant to serve two people from appetizers through desserts. And you can buy a couple of packs if you have four people or even more. I personally have had the packs with my family, and we find that not only can three or four of us eat that night just with the two pack, but there's often at least something left over in the morning. So that's fun. Um, but so plenty of food. It's all very delicious and it comes to you so that you can prepare it later. It's cooked and they send you the full instructions so that you are able to just pop it in the oven if you aren't cook savvy like I am not. So it makes it very simple. This week's Mediterranean menu has an appetizer platter with olives, tzatziki, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hummus, feta, cucumbers, red peppers. So that's just a great appetizer platter. Chicken marbella is the main course. So that's chicken roasted with garlic, olives, capers, and dried fruit. There's a lemon onion couscous, a Greek salad, and pita bread, and then finished off with a Greek custard pie. Did I say it wrong? I said marbella. Yeah, that's okay. If we can't edit it, I apologize. It doesn't hurt to say it twice. Chicken marbella. So what I have done was gone through the wines we have here in-house that we could add to your package and maybe jazz up your dinner or breakfast or lunch whenever you plan on eating your Mediterranean pack. And I have two wines that I will be sampling for you to watch me sample. Doesn't that sound fun? So I my knowledge of wine comes from a love of wine. I am not a sommelier. I am not a wine connoisseur. I am none of the big words that are associated with wine knowledge. But I love wine. I drink a lot of different types of wine, and I love the full experience that you get when you are drinking wine. In particular, I love what it does to different foods, and I find it very interesting that two people can taste the exact same wine and they find differences. And the fact that my most favorite wine, someone else can taste it and say, oh, this is disgusting. People that I like, even. So it really is a very interesting sort of study into taste buds and just mouth feel and all of those. But you won't hear me say any of those words when I speak of wine. I don't talk tannins. I don't love to say words like fruit forward and things like that. I just speak in very layman's terms of wine and I enjoy it. So I was specifically looking at the Mediterranean foods that we are providing and the different flavors that are going into the dishes they're preparing for you. So there's Mediterranean foods in general. There's a lot of garlic and capers, and so there's big flavors without it being overwhelming. There's olives. Oh no, wait. The lemon onion couscous. That was one that kind of jumped out at me. And sorry to turn around. So in-house, we do sell Yellowtail Sauvignon Blanc, and this wine in particular is kind of like a lot of lime, tropical fruit. Sauvignon Blancs in general are. I promised I wouldn't say fruit forward, didn't I? They are fruity. They in general have a nice citrus crispness to them, and that's going to help without overpowering any of the food that we have in these packs. Um, and it's a cute little label. That's fun. So Yellowtail does come from Australia, and they make a wide variety. We can add one of these bottles in particular to your family pack if you've already called and ordered. I believe we're down to just 3 packs left. So if you haven't ordered and you're seeing this video, stop, call in and make sure that you reserve your pack. But if you have already ordered, feel free to call and add a bottle of wine. We are offering a 20% off of the bottle of wine discount. So that's fun. And for the Sauvignon Blanc, that will make it 15.20. So I'm going to taste this and tell you about it. I think that this would be best paired with, that might have been a little more than she meant for me to pour. So specifically for the Sauvignon Blanc, I do think that it would be fine with your hummus and with any of the appetizers listed with the Greek salad. This would be delicious. But with the chicken having, I kind of focused on capers. I love capers. I love that little saltiness and garlic. It'll be very tender. The chicken should be. So Sauvignon Blanc is just a delicious wine. It also pairs well with seafoods. So if you were planning on having any seafood later, I do try to look, oh goodness, it's so citrusy. It's so delicious. Ugh. I try to look fancy and I like to swirl my wine, but I just like the way it opens up and then it smells so bright and fresh. So Yellowtail Sauvignon Blanc. So the other thing is, when you are tasting wine with other people, just a little thing to note. I think my most important thing is don't trust your first sip. If you love the wine on your first sip, that's fine to trust, but don't ever make your judgment until you've had at least 2 sips. And it's very important to not yuck someone else's yum. This is a phrase that I heard from a friend who sells wine. And it's just really important that if you're sitting with friends and you taste something that maybe isn't exactly what you would love, don't immediately, ugh, 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 because someone else might like it. And it's interesting, but suggestion does a lot for a wine. This wine is very easy to drink. I've only had 1 sip so far. I'm going to do the second one because I told you to. So you can aerate it a little. This is delicious. Very light, fruity. Um, it's not sweet, but it is fruit. So there's none of that tang. It's not dry. It is just a really light, simple, easy to drink wine. So I do recommend maybe a couple of bottles of this. This will go fast. It will pair very well with the dishes in this meal. Yeah, this is a really light and super simple to drink wine. I'm enjoying it. So, just simply in the interest of cleaning up, yeah, there's green apple. Um, Granny Smith, but not quite tart. So it's green apple. Like that is the immediate image that comes to my head for that. Oh, goodness. So if you like green apples, you are going to be a big fan. I'm going to show you one more time. Maybe I'll even set it to where you can see it. We're going to do more videos like this. So any recommendations or hints, tips, things like that that you have? So I also looked at the dessert and the Greek custard pie. It sounds amazing. I was thinking, when it comes to custard in particular, it's less of that kind of crazy sweet dessert, and it should be more, not quite savory, but still like more of deliciousness and filling. And so with that, I think that you should pair a wine that is not overly sweet, not overly fruity, and just that's going to complement it without overpowering for sure. So the Riesling that we sell here in-house is from Rapidan River. So it is a local Riesling. You may have heard of it. It's a semi-dry. And I did I did research a little bit. It's a stainless steel, so that's going to it's going to be very clean and crisp. And it in particular has won awards. Let's see. So they wanted to offer a Riesling in a style that wasn't sweet. A lot of German Rieslings are sweet, and that's why people love them. They're very popular wines. So this in particular, they are more proud of it being, let's see, delicate. I'm trying to look at some of their words that they use specifically for for their own description. Delicate, fruity nuances. So this one ought to be very interesting. But with the custard dessert, like I said, I really thought it was important for, I thought it would be important to find a wine that was going to just maybe add a little hint of help, but not overshadow the dessert. And it's fun to end on something a little different. So, I mean, you saw my face with the Sauvignon Blanc. I swirled and I smelled, and it was immediately like, "Ooh, I want to jump into this fruit salad." This one, on the other hand, it smells fine, but it's very light, very nice coloring. I mean, some of these words I use because I've heard them before and they fit, but I'm telling you, I am not a pro. So I'm gonna do 2 sips. I did not have water in between the two, but this is a nice, gorgeous blue bottle. And I think we have a couple people here at the lake that actually make some crafts and things out of bottles. So, and you could recycle your blue bottle. Yes, yeah, it's very tasty. Ooh, very, very tasty. So there is a sweetness that I wasn't expecting based on their description. Um, it is very light and pleasant. So when it says, I mean, I know it says semi-dry, so I guess I wasn't expecting that full mouth pucker of like, but I don't feel any dryness for me. I do think that levels of that are subject to other people's interpretations, but they were right. The nuance, the fruity nuance, that's a perfect description. I was expecting more of a dryness and less flavor, but there is a little bit of a bold flavor to this bold is too harsh of a word. A light sweetness. You will like this wine. This is delicious. This one is going to go very well. So again, we will offer 20% off of this bottle as well if you would like to add on one. Normally this retails, or we sell this for $30, so it would just be 24. Oh, it is really, really tasty. So where I came off of the yellowtail with that green apple, what am I getting? It's almost like a light pineapple. So not fresh pineapple, more canned pineapple. That where it's not puckering my tongue. I think that another word they have honeysuckle listed. Um, so maybe that's what I'm getting as well. It's hard to taste enough honeysuckle to really get a big flavor of that. But this is very, very tasty. It's been a long time. I'm not a huge Riesling drinker, so I think if I was I if I was going to choose one one of the bottles, I think this Riesling would pair well start to finish. Appetizer, entree, and dessert. I am intrigued and curious what this Sauvignon Blanc will do with some bigger flavors. I mean, I don't have any food here. We'll have to work on that for next time. So I'm not eating anything. Hmm. I think I would do the Riesling if I was going to choose one, but I am really intrigued how the Sauvignon Blanc would, I mean, particularly the couscous, the lemon onion couscous is just crying out for Sauvignon Blanc. So I did want to mention, I don't have any right here to sample to show you, but we have cans of Sauvignon Blanc as well for sale here. And the can is about a glass and a half. And that one in particular sounds like it tastes a little bit between these two. See about getting a taste of one of those cans. But it is, it's in a can, so of course it's going to be crisp and it's fun, and that's something unique, sitting around the dinner table drinking your wine from your can, or you can pour it into a glass if you feel like you need to be classy. I don't judge. But that one also was very recommended recommended with a like barbecue, hanging out with the grill, which might be part of the can appeal. So we have those. It equals 1.5 glasses, and you can purchase one can or multiple for $8 each. Um, but I am telling you, my conclusion. This is going to be a short, quick video. It was just kind of to put the word out there. We are hoping to do more of these, as I said, every week when they come up with the menu. Then it'll give me a chance to look through the wines that we offer here and see what I would pair up, and maybe next time I'll have some food to sample at the same time so I can really go full on with my recommendation. But from what I know of the chefs here and from what I know of the food that they prepare and how delicious it is, I have purchased multiple of these family meals in the past that we've had. I know this is, I believe, our first time with the Mediterranean menu. I haven't seen it before. But just from what I know of their seasonings and all of the things that they have done in the past, I think this Riesling is going to be so perfect. I'm actually really excited about it. I thought of it for the custard pie, but it's so delightfully light and still sweet. So if you have a wine lover in your house who prefers the sweet wine, I think they would love this. I think that even someone who typically drinks reds, which would be my palate, would enjoy this with these foods. You're going to have a lot of the lemony, the citrusy, the fun, and all of that is in this without being too much of that. So that's my final word. Riesling for sure. I think the Sauvignon Blanc would be delicious as well. Get them both, and then you can tell me how you feel. Mm, yeah, there's pineapple. I feel really proud of myself because I don't always taste the fruits that are suggested. And nowhere did I see, no one suggested pineapple to me. That was all on my own. So I'm curious to know what you think. We will be making these videos. We will keep posting them. I will have access to the comments. I would love to know if you try either of these wines or if you try even a different one with your Mediterranean packs this weekend. I'd love to know what you think, what you would have paired. And I hopefully will see you next week. We have Tuesday night trivia, but more importantly, we'll do more wine tasting next week as well.